What's up, everybody? Red and Bordy here. Today we're going to talk about Albion Online. Now, Albion Online is basically an MMO that has been out for quite a while now. It is available on Steam and even on Android. But today specifically, we're going to talk about the iOS version being in beta and the impending launch of both of those on Android and iOS for the game to, get past the beta phases and into the main launch, and how that's going to affect the future of the MMO, the population, and kind of what it means for the future of MMOs on the mobile platform. So, Bordy, me and you have played quite a bit of Albion in our MMO history, and today I just want to first and foremost talk about the release date or the lack of a release date for mobile.
Yeah, you would think that as big as Albion is, you would think that at some point they would make a strong push to put it out there for the iPhone specifically, because it is such a large market out there and they could pull in so much more revenue, I would imagine, if it's widely available. It is available on beta, but you have to go sign up on like a Google form to get access to the beta on the iPhone. So I don't know what the holdup is there, man, but I would think that they would want to like really push that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, here's what's interesting is they did, they have set dates or potential release dates in the past, and they haven't hit them. So, with a game that seems to be already available on beta on the mobile platforms, aside from iOS, you can think that just the nature of the game in general, it's pretty mobile friendly. It is like a click to move game. There are only 6 active skills that you can use at one time, though the depth of the game and the character builder are pretty detailed for the most part. You would think that this game would be one of those games that would be pretty easy to port over. Obviously, neither one of us are programmers at this point, so it's hard to tell. But if you had to guess, Bordy, what are your thoughts? I mean, they keep mentioning that the game is close to release on mobile, but we just keep saying more beta updates.
I have no idea, to be honest with you, because whenever you look at some of the footage, there's footage available out there on YouTube of people playing the beta version of Albion on their phone, and it looks rather smooth. It looks like it runs pretty well. It doesn't look like it's bogging down their phone. Everything looks like it's running okay. Now, obviously, PvPing on your phone probably isn't optimal, but you could do other things like gather and whatever. A lot of activities you could do on your phone, and it looks very smooth. So I have no idea what the holdup is, and I know there's a lot of people like on the forums bringing up this topic over and over and over. So I don't know when we're going to get it, but I would assume that I would hope that by 2021 we'll have a launch of an actual iOS iPhone version, playable version of this game.
Yeah, I mean, that seems plausible right now, especially in 2019. They did mention that the goal was 2020, and COVID and everything like that, you can kind of understand why the game might be delayed in some form or fashion. So 2021 seems like a pretty probable release date. Now, Bordy, another thing that we kind of wanted to talk about tonight on the video is that what this kind of means for the player base of Albion. Now, me and you just checked up Steam charts, and Albion is about half of the player base of your popular Steam MMOs. Now, we know or recognize that Albion has, has its own launcher. Also, games like ESO and Black Desert Online, they also have their own launcher as well. So we're just strictly going off the player bases of Steam, or on Steam at this point. So compared to those games, Black Desert Online and ESO and even Final Fantasy XIV, all of which are available on Steam, it has about half the player base, Bordy. So now with the impending or the upcoming release on mobile, what do we think that's going to do for the player base of Albion?
I would think that it would shoot up tremendously, right? Like, I mean, it would make sense for it to increase a whole lot. And I would think that as people play it on mobile, they would be more likely to come home and sit down on their PC to do other activities like PvP or things that you would want to do on your PC. I would think that people would kind of get addicted to it or hooked on the game addicted may not be the right word, but hooked on the game, playing it on mobile, and then that would entice them to play it more on PC as well. So it just seems like it would be an additional hook for them to get players in to play on mobile and PC. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get it soon, man.
Well, and that's a good point, Bordy, because, we anticipate at this point that the game is going to be available for cross-platform play, right? If you have a mobile account or you currently have a PC account, we anticipate that you should be able to play your same character on your same account on mobile as well as on PC, right? So, I mean, like you had mentioned, this should promote some interest across the board. Being, again, if you're a mobile person, maybe anticipate, if you like the game and you're at home and you'd rather play on your laptop or something like that, that should entice those players to play on their PC as well as their mobile device, and vice versa. It's kind of nice to think that if you're traveling or you're in the airport and you have the opportunity to play an MMO that you're already into and having fun in, it seems like, why wouldn't you take that mobile version along with you and play that when you can. So that kind of leads to our next topic is, what does this mean? This type of cross-platform play in a game like Albion, in a pretty popular MMO at this point. What does that mean for, the future of MMOs and the size of player bases and kind of how they attract people to their game?
So you mean in terms of forcing other MMOs to play on mobile or be mobile? Have a mobile version of the game? Yeah,
I mean, so interesting. To me, it's interesting that, I think this game was initially designed to play or to have cross-platform play on mobile. So, it's interesting to me, that approach that they made. And I just think it's interesting to talk about what that means for the future of MMO development. Are we going to see more mobile-based MMOs, or MMOs that are designed to support the mobile platform?
Yeah, I think there's a ton of actual just mobile-based MMOs out there, but there's not a lot of true cross-platform MMOs like what Albion would be doing. So I would think that more MMOs would want to go that direction, but it would also be very tough for a game like ESO or Black Desert or something to have that. I know Black Desert has its own mobile version, but to incorporate that as cross-play, I think would be rather tough for those. So I think Albion would kind of have a little niche there, and that they would have strong cross-play, and it wouldn't be a tremendously different experience playing on PC versus mobile because the game is so mobile friendly. So I think it would really, really play in their favor to do that. And I don't think that a lot of other MMOs, to be honest, I don't know that a lot of other MMOs would feel a lot of pressure to put their MMO on mobile, right? I don't think just because Albion has theirs on iOS that's going to make ESO or a Black Desert or something like Final Fantasy put theirs on mobile. I think that they would be fine, but I think because of that, Albion would have a pretty significant advantage in terms of drawing in players.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think a lot of the current MMOs could even potentially port to console mobile if they wanted to. But the idea that Albion can be on mobile, do you think that'll increase the player base of Albion to the likes of maybe an ESO or a Final Fantasy 14?
I would think so. I don't see how it couldn't, to be honest. It's especially just on mobile. There's so many other players that play mobile that aren't on PC that would pick up the game and probably play it strictly on mobile.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the game lends itself very well to mobile control, and I think generally, the biggest growing player base right now in gaming is mobile gamers. So it'll be interesting to see, Bordy, when they do officially launch this, how much marketing and support they will bring to the table to try to get this, the player base on the mobile side to grow, and what that'll kind of mean for the future of Albion. All right, Bordy.
Yeah.
Well, that about does it, dude. Guys, don't forget to hit the subscription button, the notification bell for more MMO content like this. I'm sure in the future we'll do more Albion videos as it develops, and me and you, I think, continue to be interested in the game and the future of it, just because of the growth that it's seen in the recent past and leading up to the future of mobile gaming.